Good evening. Today, we're hosting a press conference. It's an ordinary press conference, but I also think that it's quite extraordinary. Why? I recently paid a visit to the States. I remember that actually around the beginning of last year, there was a lot of buzz around ChatGPT in industry. Many people asked us at that time, what impact do you think the large language model would have on autonomous driving in the future? Will it destroy our current technology? Well, to be honest, I remember being a little worried at that time. However, after learning more about the large language model, I found out that it was based on transformer. And our autonomous driving is also based on transformer. I also discovered that XPENG Motors' autonomous driving use a smaller AI model, but it was developed on the same underlying partial frameworks as the large language model. At the end of last year, Tesla released the new FSD, or full self-driving capability. And to be honest, I previously used FSD in China and found it challenging to use. When I tried it in the States, I felt it was somewhat easier to use, but still not good enough. In my experience, Waymo performed the best compared to other cars I've tried in the States. I used to think of Waymo as the benchmark in the field. Let me just give you an idea. In the urban areas of San Francisco, Waymo would only require a takeover once every 200 kilometers of driving. However, during my recent visits to San Francisco, my experience was not so great. I probably drove less than 40 kilometers and had to take over twice. This is definitely rare, and at that time, it was very surprising to me because I used to believe Waymo was the best. However, this year, I visited Silicon Valley to specifically test Tesla's FSD, and I actually tried a relatively early version, 12.3, and it's now been updated to 12.5 for testing. And I must say, I was very impressed. The new version is completely different from the previous one. I believe that XPENG is a technology company, and we need to deeply integrate technology into our work. I'm really confident that the tipping point for autonomous driving has arrived in 2024. Toyota began working on autonomous driving in 1999, Google in 2009, Baidu in China in 2013, and XPENG in 2014. As we're approaching our 10th anniversary next month in August, I've realized that the turning point for autonomous driving has already started since the beginning of last year with the advancement in large language model and our many years of engineering expertise. I want to share this perspective with you as it reflects a change in trend. I believe that many of you have seen similar graphs many times, and some people have been making these graphs since 1960. I consider myself very fortunate, as I've been involved in 2 entrepreneurial ventures, one of which was in the mobile internet industry. I started my mobile internet business in 2004, which was 2 decades ago, and I was involved with UC at that time, but the real shift in mobile internet likely occurred between 2008 and 2010 with the introduction of Apple and the rise of many Chinese companies in 2010. I believe that today everyone acknowledges that mobile internet is a major trend. However, between 2004 and 2010, there were doubts about the potential success of mobile internet. Many people at that time viewed mobile internet as a small part of the internet. Around 2014, there were 2 significant developments. The first one was cloud computing, which became pervasive. Today, we have entered the AI era with robust business logic systems and new energy sources. To be honest, speaking of new energy, I have to mention Tesla. Tesla was founded around 2000 or after 2000, but Tesla has inspired many new Chinese car companies like NIO, XPENG, and Li Auto. However, what is the new trend? what is the next wave of technology. I firmly believe that although AI was first proposed in the 60s, around the 60s, it is experiencing at least 4 new waves today. The first wave is related to chips. Over the past year or so, the tremendous growth of NVIDIA has been evident, taking the company from a value of $10 billion to $3 trillion in just 8 to 9 years. And the second wave involves the large language model, and I believe everyone shared the same opinion. And the third is ADAS, which is slightly smaller model than the large language model one, but is connected to car and will definitely be a disruptive force in the next few years. Additionally, there are robotics, and the era of robotics will arrive sooner than expected. I recently attended a forum in the States with an audience of about 80 people, including the CEO of Microsoft. Everyone discussed whether robots will become a part of public life and when it's going to happen, or if a killer app or killer apps or iconic applications will emerge, and when is it going to happen? I mean, to be honest, if you asked me 2 years ago, I believe that the answer will probably be around 10 to 20 years from now, but now 70% of the attendees actually think that it's going to be in 5 years, and I agree. And in 5 years' time, you will see that XPENG is going to venture into all of these areas. But today our topic is about autonomous driving. I would like to actually share with you our latest advancement across various areas. Let me spotlight our end-to-end autonomous driving capability. We initiated research and development last year and officially launched this in May. And now we're one of the only 2 companies worldwide and the only one in China to not only conceive but also implement an end-to-end comprehensive model. Over the past year, we've invested 3.5 billion RMB in AI, making our current computing power the highest among all automakers in China. We boast a computing power of 2.51 EFLOPS, which is significant. I'm going to use this graph to explain the impact of the end-to-end model for us. Since our founding, we've always spent time to achieve top technology. We've spent over 6 years to achieve mass production of autonomous driving on highways. And it took us another 42 months to make this technology available from on the highways to all places across the country. The next step we're going to do is called door-to-door autonomous driving, which is from your parking space to the company parking space or to the school parking lot. Our goal is 4 months to achieve this. Everyone's going to see that the new architecture overturns everything before, and the iteration speed is unparalleled. But this also generates new problems. Many users will ask, now data is the king. Whoever has the data has an advantage, but large language models require a lot of data, but I can tell you that none of our previous data can actually be used nowadays with this end-to-end data or end-to-end model because the data stream is different. XPENG motors used to upgrade every 4 to 5 months. Now we iterate every 2 days. We have transformed all of our testing procedures. Recently, we had to conduct a large simulation and completely change the previous simulation logic to achieve a full simulation comparison of tens of millions of kilometers. This was necessary for us to be able to develop so rapidly. Now, getting back to the theme today, XNGP will be fully upgraded on July the 30th. I believe that this is a crucial milestone for XPENG Motors, signifying a new stage of being able to drive all over the country with ease. I mentioned earlier that XPENG Motors spent over 6 years to achieve highway mass production and another 42 months to expand the capability nationwide. Today, we have entered a completely new stage, which means XPENG can now be driven all over the country. Now, this problem has been solved, and we start to think about when we'll be able to use it nationwide and globally. That will be our next stage. Now, today, we're going to discuss how we should make it usable nationwide. And there are multiple standards for so-called easy to use across the country. At least 6 to 7 standards currently are in place. 3 standards will gradually increase, or more standards will increasingly be applied over time. Today, I'm going to focus on 3. The first standard is not limited to specific cities, the second is to cover all public roads, and the third is to cover all road conditions. This actually marks a comprehensive shift from merely being able to drive around most of the country to making it easier and easier and more accessible nationwide. I also want to mention that in 2022, high-definition maps were developed for several cities, which was difficult to envision at that time. When I asked about the efficiency or the speed of scanning these high-definition maps, I was really frustrated to learn that it actually took a few months to scan or generate a high-def map for one city. This made me wonder, wow, how long it's going to take to actually cover the whole country. And back then, I used to visit different places daily to tackle the issue. Later, we discovered the effectiveness of high-definition map technology, and our initial efforts were obviously commendable, but they weren't sufficient or efficient enough. We aimed to create a map-independent solution, and it took us around 13 months to develop the standard navigation map. And in November 2023, we launched this in 400 to 500 cities. And today, we're launching it in all cities. Now, some of our users have asked, well, you guys actually are able to cover all of China at the beginning of this year. Why wouldn't you just launch it back then? We got asked this question multiple times. If we had launched at that time, we could have created many cool short videos of us driving across all roads to promote our products and technology. To be honest, we were hesitant. One of our engineers said during an internal discussion that the technology has been verified, but implementation hasn't. We really can't leave something that hasn't been verified to users for trial and error. That's why we embarked on a challenging project, using many cars for actual road testing. We traveled extensively across the country. In all honesty, it's probably easier to determine the number of prefecture-level cities in China, but would you happen to know how many county-level cities there are in China? We scoured Baidu, Zhihu, and Weibo to find the definitive answer. Regardless, we visited 2,595 cities and tested 7.56 million kilometers of actual driving. We covered all the cities, and it was incredibly demanding. Thank you. It is really challenging. Most companies are hesitant to invest so much money and time because we already have the technology. Why did we have to do so much actual driving on the road? Because we did not want to risk. How can you be so sure there won't be obstacles or something unexpected around the corner? We don't know if there will be serious problems. We have faced numerous unusual issues. For instance, do you know how many types of traffic lights there are in China? I initially thought that there should be nearly 1,000, but that was an underestimate. Actually, there's definitely more than 10,000 types. And they also asked me, do you know how many types of guardrails there are between two roads in China? And you probably haven't seen many cities with so many various flower beds are used to place various shapes of hurdles and guardrails. I mean, when the car sees this, it gets confused. And so what I want to say is that a full-scale test is very necessary. And why are we doing it faster in Europe now? For example, different countries in Europe have different traffic regulations and traffic equipment, but because we have such experience in China, we can do it faster now in Europe. And to clarify, we can cover all the cities now. First, we'll focus on the highways, and then main roads, and finally all the public roads. And additionally, we hope to expand to cover public roads in Europe and other countries around the world in the future. During our development, we initially whitelist places that have been tested, and then we blacklist places that had not been thoroughly tested or places where problems were found. And then when we're not sure, we typically use a whitelist to give access to places that we've tested. And then gradually, we make significant progress. Within our system, we can gradually relax restrictions in most areas and completing public roads. So basically, according to government regulations, according to our testing, we're able to only blacklist a small number of places. The rest are all on the white list. Now, today is July the 30th, and by the fourth quarter of this year, we aim to provide a seamless experience, including highway ETC, parking access, internal community or factory roads, as well as various access control points within internal roads as well. Our goal is to achieve this by the end of the year and really make the internal roads accessible. And this is what we'll call the door-to-door experience. Now, when we talk about easy to use nationwide, we are also talking about covering all kinds of road conditions. As mentioned previously, there are nearly 10,000 types of traffic lights in China. In order to tackle this, we need to produce a really smart version. Many traffic lights in China are equipped with ETCs that indicate, for example, go straight, wait 60 seconds, and then turn left. In this scenario, even with LiDAR and cloud computing or internet, the cars still gets confused. They must rely on perception and additional guidance. Furthermore, some places use abbreviations instead of Chinese characters, requiring consideration for globalization and the need for more advanced technology. So traffic lights are extremely complex. Although many demos on the market show effective operation within a single area, when deployed nationwide, the reality is vastly different. Now, the second type of challenge is roundabout. Many people wonder why it's so difficult for AI to navigate roundabouts. Now, the world of AI is very different from the world of humans. Here's an interesting example. Actually, many tasks that are simple for humans are extremely complicated for robots. For example, our hands. A 1 or 2-year-old toddler can easily grasp objects with their hands, but many of them struggle to actually make a gesture resembling the number 3. Right? You can try it at home. Toddlers struggle with gesturing 3. And the complexity lies in the dexterity of the human hand and arm, which represent nearly 50% of human skeleton and possess a high degree of freedom. So creating a robot capable of performing similar actions with various fingers, feet, and eyes coordination is incredibly challenging. When it comes to AI-enabled driving, negotiation of a roundabout situation involves observing the surrounding, planning, and perceiving while controlling the vehicle, which is no easy feat. Previously, the method of navigating roundabouts involved using high-definition maps and setting rules on these maps to guide AI through different scenarios. However, with the introduction of end-to-end models, XPENG Motors seems to have achieved the highest and smoothest success rate in negotiating roundabouts among all the Chinese autonomous driving manufacturers. In 2024, China is facing a crucial year for autonomous driving technology. Only a few manufacturers are expected to achieve high-level autonomous driving. It used to be a rule-based logic, and continuous investment of several billion renminbi annually is now required for ongoing updates because of the new requirements, making 2024 a defining year for autonomous driving. XPENG is currently in the third stage of development, for autonomous driving, and we plan to share our autonomous driving plan at an upcoming press conference in August. From being available nationwide to the initial stage of being user-friendly or easy to use nationwide, we have established several objectives for ourselves. By the end of next year or the year after, we plan to introduce a more advanced intelligent driving system. Additionally, I would like to establish additional criteria for what user-friendliness means. Firstly, there needs to be a focus on safety oversight. What capabilities must a car possess to be considered superior to other vehicles? I was informed that it should be at least 50% better than an experienced local human driver to be considered safe and good. I think this may still be relatively low requirement because human car crashes are not news, but an ADAS car crash is news. So 50% better is not enough. I believe that on average, there's a collision on the highway for about every 100,000 kilometers, and in the city, it's less than tens of thousands of kilometers. Therefore, ADAS will need to be able to make 100,000 or 200,000 kilometers in this regard. And the second criterion is efficiency, aiming to drive more efficiently than human drivers do. I mean, I still need to take over as I'm currently driving our latest version because it's not efficient enough. This is something that we aim to address through continuous end-to-end training every month. And also, user experience needs to be smooth. FSD felt very smooth when I tried it, so is our product as well. While our vertical experience is relatively smooth now, we need to continually enhance the horizontal experience in the next 2 to 4 versions. We recently set a Guinness World Record. As you may know, many who attempt to set records by filming videos actually modify their vehicles before driving them. However, XPENG Motors used regular, mass-produced vehicles without any modifications. We collaborated with China's national TV to challenge the Guinness World Record for the limit of AI ADAS driving. Now, I've talked a lot to set up for the next speaker, our excellent product manager, Yu Tong, who will talk in detail about XPENG's AI Tianji 5.2.0 version. Please join us. Hello everyone, I'm Yu Tong. Today, I'm thrilled to announce the release of AI Tianji XOS 5.2.0. While many people have already tried it out, we're still extremely excited. This marks the largest XNGP upgrade in our history, introducing 484 functional upgrades and numerous new features. XNGP, our OTAs are known to always be significant and rapid. Due to time constraints, I'll discuss 3 specific modules and 9 functions in detail today, including the deep integration of the iPhone and our highly personalized smart cockpit. This marks the initial phase of transitioning from being drivable nationwide to being user-friendly nationwide. Xiaopeng has just shared many of our thoughts from the past few months or years. Today, I want to share with you the experiences we have observed from the perspectives of users and product managers. First, what does it mean to be usable nationwide and easy to use nationwide? There have been many peculiar developments in the field of ADAS driving recently. For instance, some brands' ADAS driving systems can be used near their dealer shops but may not work when you are further away from the stores. This type of system is referred to as the whitelist driving, but ours is the so-called blacklist coverage, meaning that there's only a few spots that are on the blacklist and the rest is all covered. We've developed an intelligent driving system that are easy to use for everyone across the country. And recently, a car owner drove along the Taku Highway and provided us with a picture of the navigation routes, and the route was very long and complex. However, XNGP supported most of it. What a great way to showcase our capabilities, so we initiated the navigation from our company in Guangzhou, covering the easternmost, westernmost, southernmost, and northernmost part of the country. And we have mapped 2 routes for you, one from Guangzhou to Urumqi and the other from Guangzhou to Harbin, totaling over 4,000 kilometers. And our ADAS system can be used for more than 99% of the routes, providing nationwide accessibility and easy to use around the country. We don't play around. We integrate it directly into the system. I believe this deserves some recognition because not many can accomplish this feat. The AI Tianji XOS has been widely discussed and many users have already tried it out. We really appreciate everyone who has sent us videos of their experiences. It seems that XPENG's marketing relies heavily on car owners. We have developed a feature for everyone. If you have a great video demonstrating the ADAS experience, it can be automatically exported to create memorable moments. We have also received many videos from our users showcasing their drives around the island. Our data indicates that 80% to 90% of the roundabouts displayed on the AMAP can be easily navigated by XPENG. This experience marks the first step towards nationwide usage. As a product manager, I'm currently contemplating how to ensure that everyone perceives our car as exceedingly user-friendly and different from its competitors. We have observed from our user videos to depict the steering wheel as turning extremely smoothly without any hint of hesitation. The term smooth encapsulates the level of performance we aspire to achieve. Additionally, we conducted a quantitative survey and gave it to over 4,000 car users. During the public testing phase, satisfaction with our autonomous driving capabilities exceeded 80%, surpassing our initial expectations. Also, we cover all road conditions. When Xiaopeng visited the United States to test FSD, many people asked us if we would be concerned when FSD entered China. We do not think so because, first of all, there are 300 million electric bikes in China alone and thousands of traffic lights, so we need to make specific adjustments for each road condition in China. And I'm very pleased that in this version, we're able to effectively navigate small roads such as urban villages, alleys, and hutongs, as well as unpaved roads in rural areas. And we've also observed that many users driving XNGP to rural areas for fishing. They have reported that this version provides a smooth acceleration and deceleration experience regardless of road conditions. Now, in the past, you may have occasionally heard our voice assistant saying that sorry for hitting the brake too hard. However, starting from 5.2.0 version, we have removed this kind of voice prompt. We believe that this is the first step in standardizing driving experience across the entire country, regardless of city, route, or road conditions. Now, obviously, we don't encourage all of our users to attempt these extremely challenging roads. Our goal with autonomous driving is to provide a safe experience for everyone. However, many users ask us if we dare to tackle the most difficult roads. To address this, we held a community vote last week, asking everyone to vote for the most challenging road in their area. Next week, we'll start live broadcasting to see if we can overcome these challenges. Once again, we want to emphasize that while we strive to push the limit, we do not encourage regular users to attempt actions that compromise safety. Now, at this point, I would like to share our story with you. Why do we want to do autonomous driving? What is our original intention? Why do we cover all the small roads and do all the construction sections to include them in our capability? Because we know that everyone's commuting routes is different and everyone often encounters many special, unusual road conditions on the route. And we hope that you can feel more at ease when you use our capability. While driving, I realized that for many car users, the commute between work and home is when they experience the most emotions. During this period, we have the opportunity to relax and contemplate, but it can also be dangerous if we lose focus. As I was relaxing, I glanced down and saw XNGP taking over for me, which made me feel very safe. And I thought maybe this is just me being sentimental. But the other day, a lady from our team told me that she was very excited because she experienced no takeover that day driving our car. And everyone in the team congratulated her and said it was not easy. But she admitted that at that time she was distracted by work, and that is when she experienced zero takeover. So that actually made me realize that such a scenario is not just me being sentimental. Perhaps for most people, when driving and getting emotional, autonomous driving can really help you get through the journey with peace of mind. This is why we developed our capability. Now let's discuss the concept of reversing and parking. In this update, we are introducing a new feature called memory reversing. This addition is actually a requirement from our founder, Xiaopeng. He observed that there are many narrow roads overseas, making it challenging to maneuver the car. Therefore, he implemented a feature where the car can automatically retrace the last 100 meters. When we tested this internally, we found it extremely beneficial, especially considering the road conditions in China. If you want to enjoy food at a hole-in-the-wall restaurant, you will find that it can be quite challenging to locate and park at. It's not easy to find, and parking is difficult. Once you do find it, you may have to navigate through a dead end and then back up, which wastes energy. Having a smart reversing system would be very convenient. Also, many new drivers find it uneasy to park at night because of poor visibility. And if you find yourself at a dead end at night, this memory reverse feature can really help you maneuver. And this is how we provide value to our users with our ADAS feature. Finally, let me talk about the very easy to use parking feature. When you park your car in a parking space and shut the door, the car will drive in by itself. You can go home easily with peace of mind. And our user satisfaction is as high as 90% for this feature. Basically, every user thinks that this really represents what AI ADAS means. But at a time, there were actually several experiences that were not done well. The first one is that we found it if the Bluetooth was suddenly disconnected when you were reversing or parking, the car may suddenly stop. So we immediately released a newer version to improve the experience. Now you can easily close the door and it will park into the spot by itself. And when some users get out of the car, they often need to go back to the trunk to retrieve their handbags or luggages before heading home. In this situation, the car gets confused. What can we do? Previously, users had to take out their phone and click a button to pause before parking or reversing, which was not really user-friendly. To address this, we've introduced Parking 2.0. Now you simply need to touch the side rear camera in front of you for 3 seconds and give a command to instruct the car to reverse out or park. It will do it automatically. I believe that this new version will significantly enhance user satisfaction. Users have also been wondering if it would be embarrassing to have their car suddenly get stuck on the road after they've left for home. Although such situations are really rare, we want to ensure that users feel at ease. In this upcoming version, we will project panoramic images of your car being parked as you leave it and provide real-time status update through our mobile app. This entire process is designed to be safe and seamless. I came across an interesting comment from a user. They mentioned that modern intelligent cars can take away the fun of driving by offering autonomous, driving assistance when facing challenge. However, in the age of AI-assisted driving, I believe that enjoyment or joy can still be found in a range of seamless experience and not just from the act of driving. Now today, we're excited to introduce a series of new features aimed at enhancing your overall experience. Over 60% of our users are within the iPhone or iOS ecosystem. In this version, we've simplified the process of using your iPhone and car by integrated the Smart Scene with Siri, Apple Watch, and NFC, offering you some exciting new experiences. Now, as you may already know, Smart Scenes are a key feature in XPENG's ecosystem. And in this update, we've combined the most fundamental capabilities to allow for full customization by everyone. Now, scenario 1, when I finish work, I usually need to cool down the car before I leave. This involves remotely turning on rapid cooling feature using my phone. It typically takes at least 5 steps, including unlocking my phone, getting the app, finding the rapid cooling button, and clicking the lock screen. However, I recently developed this new and simpler solution. By purchasing an NFC tag and placing it on my desk, I can now just scan it and the car will immediately receive the instruction to start the rapid cooling process. Now, because this is a demo car, we won't be able to show you the actual AC cooling or the beeping. Now, the second scenario is locating your car in the car park. I have placed an NFC tag on my remote control. When I want to leave work, I simply need to scan the tag. And my car will then understand that I'm leaving work, and this unlocks the second scenario. Basically, after work, I can easily find my car in the parking lot using my mobile phone, even if I'm in an unfamiliar place. I just need to ask Siri to make the car flash its lights by saying, 小 P, flash the lights. This is especially helpful in finding the car in the basement parking. If you want, you can order it to beep for easier location too. Again, because this is a demo car, we're not going to enable the beeping in order to minimize the impact. But you can totally do it in the basement parking. The third scenario is after you find a car. One of the biggest characteristics of our X9 users is that they travel with their whole family. So when I get into the car, I often encounter a few small issues. I hope that, for example, when my parents get in the car, they can enter from both sides at the same time to improve the efficiency of getting in the car. And if the two electric doors are open at the same time, it will be very ceremonial as well. However, I could only go to the driver's seat and operate on the big screen, which was very troublesome. What if I install an NFC in the car? I only need to scan it lightly, and it can open all the doors for me, allowing your family to enter easily. Now here, we're just talking about opening the car door. You can also customize the NFC to any action. Now we're going to close the door. Now another scenario. For example, I just returned from a family trip and the car is a bit dirty. Typically, it requires a wash. Previously, initiating the car wash was cumbersome for an electric vehicle, as I had to hand over the key to the car wash attendant, and sometimes I would forget to do so. Then I had to go through a series of steps to activate the car wash mode, which was quite bothersome. Previously, I had to open the door, greet the voice assistant, and then activate the car wash mode. However, now it's unnecessary because all I have to do is to say, Siri, enter the car wash mode, or 小 P, enter the car wash mode, and it can automatically do so. In the next scenario, if you are a young person looking to impress somebody, we've set up the iPad Watch or Apple Watch to work with Siri and motion detection. Now, when I turn my head, it recognizes my movement and greets everyone automatically. So these are the different ways to interact with the iOS that we've introduced in this version. One important point to note, if you are a user of the latest iPhone, it comes with a physical custom button. Many of our customers, particularly those who own the X9, live in houses. They prefer not to use the automatic unlocking feature because their cars are parked near their homes. If they get too close, the car might unlock automatically, which can be very inconvenient. In such situation, you just need to press and hold your custom button, and the car will lock itself. This is the new level of connectivity we're providing in this version. Now, the scenarios that I just mentioned are some fun ways to use remote voice control, gestures, or action button to have different interaction with the car. We hope that you can try them out today and share some customized ways of playing with your car with this control in our community as well. Android users may be wondering if there are any features that are available on Android. We want to apologize that we're currently only supporting iPhone or iOS in this version. The reasons is that the openness of the iOS ecosystem has provided a lot of underlying capabilities for us, which we can connect to everyone. If any Android companies are watching, we hope that major Android manufacturers can also get in touch so we can work together to build an entire ecosystem. In the next version, we'll introduce some exciting new features, music feature, and this actually will seamlessly continue from your phone to your car without any distinction between iPhone or Android. For example, if you're listening to a song on your phone and then enter your car, the car will recognize the current song and continue playing it. We're working with Google and NetEase partnership to launch this feature for the first time. Our goal is to enable everyone to enjoy a better cross-terminal connection experience. Why are we doing this? We believe that in the age of traditional or conventional cars, we attempted to use remote controls and keys to operate cars, which was quite cumbersome. In the second age of electrification, we attempted to use apps and large screens to replace traditional buttons for car control, but the fundamental logic remained unchanged. It still involves issuing commands and remote control. However, nowadays, with AI, we aim for the car to sense you through all your IoT devices and assist you in easily achieving various scenarios or goals. Our users have informed us that seamless control is a crucial aspect in the era of AI smart driving, and it really serves as the foundation for the development of these functions. Now, I would like to show you some of our new upgrades we've made in the smart cockpit. Let's take a moment to look back 70 days ago. Over the past 2 months, we've made rapid progress. At the XOS 5 launch conference, we introduced upgrades to the AI system, including X9, G9, G6, and P7i, all at the same time for the first time. We also attempted to enable split screen capability to enable a variety of customized operations for all users. For the past 2 months, we've been focusing on improving the dashboard to make it more user-friendly and in line with modern technology. Now, we have listened to user feedback and addressed the top 10 issues raised, such as small font size, obstructed gear display, and the need for additional information like battery percentage, etc. As a result, we have developed several new dashboard designs to address these concerns. You have the ability to place the map at the center of the dashboard display. You can also make the P and R gear speed information more prominent. Additionally, you can integrate various functions with the small display, including answering calls. These new features provide experiences that were not available before. Today, I would like to focus on a feature called Dashboard Map. Essentially, we've placed the most commonly used map functions on the dashboard, including navigation information, speed camera alerts, recommended routes details, and even a large map of intersections. This makes navigation much easier. Additionally, we have developed actually 80 new dashboard designs for you to use. The large dashboard map eliminates the need to constantly look at the central control screen for navigation. With our split screen feature, you can use the dashboard for navigation while keeping the central control screen for music and videos, allowing you to focus on driving in an unfamiliar place or area without interrupting your family's entertainment experience in car. If I'm driving by myself, I can place the SR on the dashboard panel to have a clear view of the surrounding environment. Additionally, I can display the map on the big screen and glance at it when needed. We offer up to 1,000 customized combinations for various scenarios. We didn't just update the user interface for this version, we also make significant improvement to the underlying capabilities. When G9 was launched, many car owners claimed that it was the best driving car. Why? Because we introduced a mode called Geek mode, allowing users to adjust all parameters according to their preferences. Whether you are a basic or a conservative user, you can now choose a driving mode that suits you. Today, we have made this function available to all car users. In the beginning, there are only 4 driving modes, right? Comfort, standard, sports, and personalized. Now, with various combinations, you can have up to 1,620 choices. It's important to note that each of these options undergo rigorous testing by our engineers to ensure a seamless experience before being made available to everyone. We deliberated for a long time about implementing implementing this feature, as it may appear to be merely a change in the interface, but it actually requires significant effort from our team and can result in several times the original workload. Now today, we have an important announcement. Our new features are not only available for users in mainland China, but also for our overseas users. XPENG Motors may have the most frequent OTA versions for overseas users among all NEV manufacturers. Starting today, we'll be rolling out updates to both mainland China and overseas regions simultaneously. We have received a great deal of feedback from our real users in Denmark, Sweden, and the Netherlands. All the feedback is genuine and can be verified. Overseas users are very concerned about their privacy, so they confirm with us multiple times before posting a comment or sharing a video with us. We highly respect their privacy, and every word of their original feedback here is from them directly. During this entire process, I'm extremely satisfied in my role as a product manager. Initially, I discovered that overseas users are just as excellent as everyone here in China. Most of them have rational thinking similar to that of engineers. They're very logical, they value innovation and life. It truly surpasses my imagination. And many of my colleagues have asked me why I became a product manager and what my purpose is at XPENG Motors. When I first started working, I believed that product managers had the power to change the world. However, after about 10 years, I found that the details of daily life and work made me forget my dreams. Now, I realize that what we're doing at XPENG has the potential to have a global impact. In the eyes of our users overseas, XPENG Motors represent China's most advanced technology, ADAS technology, and those who seek innovation abroad greatly appreciate us. Finally, I'd like to share a video captured by our international users showcasing all of our features discussed today. Let's take a look.
我的中国的名字老王彤。
My name is Victor.
Hi all, welcome. This is Mark from the Netherlands.
It's a very comfortable car. We love it.
I love technology and new thinking, and that is one of the reasons why I got the XPENG G9 performance.
The reason why I chose this car is the excellent build and hardware quality. And of course, it's a beautiful car to look at.
Very nice now is to have the safety camera facing backwards to see clearly if everything is clear next to you. This works also very well, even in small gaps. Braking is very convenient. It's following very well.
Now we have the highway going on the road trip, and this works fine. The new lane assist is great. It doesn't jump, it doesn't brake too hard. You see, it turns very fast and drive past all cars very smoothly now. Because I am a dog owner and are able to work remotely, I can let out the dog and let her run around free. While I go inside to the car, activate the hotspot, and take my computer and start working.
I cannot really turn around here in this area. So I have to drive backwards. And I hate driving backwards. But luckily, I have this button here. So if I press this one, I get this message. It's going to drive back by itself. How amazing is that? I don't have to do anything. No hands.
And I must say that new software update is just amazing. One of the things I really like is the new split screen here.
On the left side, you see currently the surrounding simulation. You can also see that the car is charging at the moment.
How the LCC is now working, it's just perfectly lining up in the center of the lane. It's perfectly shifting lanes, following the car in the front. I'm using it all the time when I'm driving in my G9.
We are very satisfied to have this new update.
Thank you for listening, and I hope you will enjoy the XPENG as much as I do.
All right, thank you, Yutong, and thank you all very much. I think we just received a huge amount of information. We'll release the AI Tianji XOS 5.2.0 update to Chinese users this evening on July the 30th, and then push it out over the air to all users outside of China on August the 15th. This will enable autonomous driving and our Tianji OTA to be used in multiple languages in China and around the world. I want to extend a special thanks to our engineers and all of our users for waiting patiently with us. It's been quite a journey, and we appreciate your support. We put in a lot of effort to create an operating system that support all language worldwide. Our end-to-end autonomous driving capabilities also relies on technology that can be reused across different countries, regions, and products. Also, I wanted to mention that this year marks the 10th anniversary of XPENG. This year is the first year of XPENG's globalization acceleration. Prior to this year, we only sold in 4 European countries, including Norway. This year, we have started to expand to more countries and will enter 30 countries. I'm very happy about this recent development. Did you know that XPENG Motors sells for about 40,000 to 80,000 euros overseas? And actually, at this particular price segment, we're the leading exporter of pure electric brands from China. And in many countries in Northern Europe and the Middle East, our mid to high-end pure electric sales, including G9, are also leading the market. Our G9 will begin global deliveries in August, and sales started in Israel in July, with 500 units sold in 10 days. Next month, and the month after next, our G6 and G9 will be available for sale in more countries such as the UK, France, Australia, Singapore, etc. I'm excited to see XPENG Motors expanding into many countries over the next 10 years. Also, in the second half of this year, XPENG supercharging will see rapid development. We have already installed 1,300 charging stations, with 1,000 of them supporting super fast charging as of July. Additionally, we will be introducing XPENG's S5, which also supports super fast charging and can add more than 1 kilometer of range in just 1 second. This means that in the future, you'll be able to charge more than 300 kilometers in just 5 minutes when you are on the go, making it a very fast and efficient process. At the same time, the long-awaited Mona will be available soon. Starting from August the 1st, Mona will gradually arrive at our dealer shops across different regions, and everyone is welcome to come and test drive it. In August, XPENG will officially hold a Mona press conference to provide detailed information about the Mona MO3, and of course, we're going to disclose the final retail price that you are curious about. I recently drove our Mona car on different roads, and I couldn't believe it. It performed much better than other cars I've driven that cost over 200,000 RMB. The driving experience was very dynamic and different. Initially, I had doubts about whether our Mona MO3 could look good, be affordable, and perform well across all aspects. However, we did it. This definitely is a significant leap for XPENG Motors. And finally, this is the final page. First, just to give you an idea of what's coming, looking back, I've been involved in multiple entrepreneurial ventures. I started a business at UC in 2004, and this year, UC has been established for 20 years. And on August the 15th, 2014, actually, was the founding day of our company. And next month, on August the 15th, will be our 10th anniversary. I believe that August will mark a new chapter for XPENG Motors as we enter the next 10 years, which will be the era of AI and a new turning point for XPENG. I'm confident about our future, In August, we're going to launch a limited time ADAS driving challenge for everyone. And there will be very exciting and different news to share with you. We'll also share our stories of the last 10 years, and we'll discuss our outlook for the next 10 years. I look forward to discussing technology, our future, and global development with more of you at that time. The next decade will start in August. I look forward to seeing you all again.